Hello, everyone, and welcome back to North Star Roller Derby's YouTube channel. My name is Owen Money, and this is the 4th annual North Star Roller Derby Pride Bout. It is a balmy, way too hot degrees. The wind is gratefully blowing. We've got a brick oven bus slinging pizzas off camera to the right. And we have a whole lot of folks who are ready to get some derby going. We've invited everybody from around the metro and anybody who cares to drive to St. Louis Park at the ROC to come and skate some derby with us. It's a usual blast, and this year ought to prove no different. We have for our very first bout the Rainbow Fight versus the Leather Baddies. Leather Baddies, obviously in black. Rainbow Fight wearing white. We're going to get underway with some skater intros here in just a moment. In the meantime, we have some announcers to talk about. And you can see we've got our vendor garden area type place over here. We have many different vendors from all different kinds of different arts and crafts and books and tarot readings and pretty much everything under the hot sun here in St. Louis Park. Got loose change on the in-house mic. And we're going to talk about the folks who are going to be skating first. So we've got the Leather Baddies wearing black. We've got 0157 Dildo Baggins. Number 2 is Ivana Junker. Number 1964 is Sunny Ono. 214 is Beefy. Number 219 is Hellabutt. Number 277 is Soft Butch Cassidy. 300 is Areola Assault. Number 5 is Olivia Kilometers. Number 69 is Assault and Nattery. Number 710 is The Bim Bomb. Number 75 is a Femagorgon. 81 Fruit Bat. 816 is Jambi. 833 is Subarude. Number 86 is Yes Chef. Number 88 is Flickabean. And number 999 is The Gay Agenda. Their bench staff today is going to be Salty, Maud, and Hot Sauce. Rainbow Fight in the meantime wearing white. That is number 10, Karma. Number 120 is Faye. Number 16 is Eager Beaver. Number 206 is T-Shot. Number 26, Thrash Panda. Number 3, Killer B. 303 is Angel Grinder, excuse me. Number 4 is Random NPC. 404 is Deja Cruz. Number 42 is Slayer Mars. 520, Flirty Fly. Number 73 is Bonks. Number 778 is Cheeseburger. Number 94 is Fast and Lucy. Number 98, Margin of Terror. And 996 is Safotage. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And they are bench staffed by Sassberry or Sasshole. I can't read her gay derby name from here. And then Slasha is also going to be the bench staff. So the Pride Bout is just roller derby, but somehow gayer. If you're wondering if we're having any rules change, there is an accommodation for heat, however. So instead of 2 halves, we'll be playing 4 quarters to allow our athletes to take a quick breather in between all of the high-flying action. So right out of the gate, we've got 219 Hellabutt with 2 T's. Going up against what I believe is Deja Cruz or Random. Nope, not quite. Not quite. Slayer Mars for Rainbow Fight. Number 42. The rainbow armbands, rainbow shirts, blood, sweat, and queers. It is time for Derby. Hellabutt going to the outside, trying to get around Flirty Fly, Road Rage. Oh, excuse me, just 94 is Fast and Lucy. But footing through, getting around and out for lead jammer status for the Leather Baddies. Meanwhile, Slayer Mars, stuck behind the Bim Bomb. Oh, there's a Star Pass. Star Stash, excuse me. Slayer keeps the star and puts it right back on after some subterfuge. We'll see how many points Hellabutt can pick up. And it'll be 4 before calling it off. Our Star Pass sponsor today is Nona Terra, helping the stars align. You can get a tarot reading from Nona Terra here at the ROC or wherever Nona Terra is located. We'll get some vendor and sponsor links in the description. Thank you for joining us for our special rebroadcast of the 4th annual Blood, Sweat, and Queers. Number 303, Angel Grinder, is going to be jamming for Rainbow Bright, able to almost get around Dildo Baggins. Draws them all the way to the back. Beefy is the jammer for the baddies. Now Deja Cruz, Killer B shrugging her out of bounds. Shrugging them out of bounds, excuse me. Thank you to our skaters for providing us with your preferred pronouns. And I am going to do my best to, simply read. That's a basic human adult skill. Big hit from Baggins on Grinder. Assault Nattery getting in Grinder's way, keeping them from getting out. And there goes Beefy out for the Leather Baddies' second in a row. There's another Nona Terra Star Pass. This one's going to go to T-Shot of the Rainbow Fight. Beefy approaching the back of the pack. Having some way made by Baggins. Stuck on that first apex. And another shrug out by Killer B. T-Shot spying some daylight to the middle and getting walloped to the outside by Assault and Nattery. Reforming in the back. Meanwhile, Beefy is out for their first scoring pass, excuse me. Counting and looking and reading, however. Doing all of that is kind of a drag. Out goes T-Shot for 4 points, getting Rainbow Fight on the board. Beefy's had nothing. They're going to call it after picking up another 4 points. Keeping the baddies in the lead. 12-4. Yes, Chef will be jamming for the baddies. 996 is Sabotage for Rainbow Fight. 5 seconds is called, and away it goes. Jam number 3. Trash Panda up in front trying to provide some offense for Sabotage. Meanwhile, Yes Chef is out. Leather Baddies' third jam in a row picking up lead. Sabotage getting out on her own. And Yes Chef is approaching the back of the pack. I believe that's going to be a back block. Yes, so that'll be a back block on Yes Chef, providing Sabotage and the rest of Rainbow Fight a much-needed power jam. Maybe get back into, or get those scores just a little bit closer. Rainbow Fight looking to do some offense, maybe have a set play here. Random NPC going to be going up and leading the charge for offense on the inside, proving rather effective. Sabotage able to avoid Areola Assault's final assault? Defense assault? Yeah, something like that. We all know everything about what's going on. Oh, big pile up. Let's find out. There is a whistle. There's going to be a direction of play penalty, I believe. Yes, that'll be on 816 on the Leather Baddies. That'll be Jambi headed to the box. Ooh, big wipeout there on turn number 3. No pass, no penalty, so that's a 3-point pass. Scoring pass for Yes Chef. Sabotage, meanwhile, also out, but picking up all 4 points. Yes Chef approaching the back at speed. Areola Assault trying to jostle the Rainbow Fight. Sabotage able to sneak around to the outside, catching the baddies napping. Many points being scored by both teams here. We've only got 8 seconds left in the jam, however. Jambi has been sprung from the box. We'll find out whether or not Sabotage is able to negotiate her way through. Able to get 3 on that pass. And we have a lead change for now. We'll see what happens when those scores get updated. It's a tie game. We got 23 apiece. 11-point jam for the baddies, but a 19-point jam for Sabotage and the Rainbow Fight. Getting them right back in this game. I'm sorry, it's a lead change. 24-23 in favor of the Rainbow Fight. Is it the Rainbow Fight or just Rainbow Fight? Someone will correct me, I'm sure. Hellebutt with 2 T's going up against Rage. These two are home teammates. Hellebutt trying to do a little bit of shuffling on the outside. Not able to get around Flirt. Is Flirt skating? Is Flirt? Yes. Hellebutt attempting the outside, going back in. Trying something of a shuffle maneuver, trying to get everybody moving around. Road Rage going up against Femigorgon, getting stopped also by the Gay Agenda. Who hasn't been stopped by the Gay Agenda? Likely very few people, cosmically speaking. Both jammers, that's a no pass, no penalty, so not lead jammer, but out first, which means that Rage stashed the star and now has it on her head. And we still do not have a lead jammer. However, 4 more points for the Leather Baddies. Thanks to Hellebutt with 2 T's. Rage fighting on the outside against the Gay Agenda, Subarude, Femigorgon, and surely there's a 4th. Yes, there's a 4th blocker out there. Wait, there's not. Yes, there is. It'll be Soft Butch Cassidy, the fourth mystery blocker that I just was not seeing. Rage wisely avoiding a track cut penalty. Hellebutt coming back around. Subarude providing some offense, but Hellebutt drifts out of bounds all the same. Hellebutt trying to navigate around Karma, Cheeseburger. Rage sneaking by on the inside, picking up 4 points for Rainbow Fight. Femigorgon trying to provide some offense at the last second there. We'll find out how many points. That'll be still 4 points for the Baddies, 4 for Rainbow Fight. So the Baddies are back on top, which as a baddie, I'm sure they are used to doing. Rainbow Fight trying to get them to just knock it off, you know. Thanks to one of our sponsors, Cream and Amber, thank you for their continued support. They're a local, independent, community-oriented bookstore run by our very own Carmageddon, who is skating number 10 for the Rainbow Fight today. Very, very fun store they have. Books, beer, camaraderie, and snacks, many snacks. They got paninis, they've got chips, they've got a variety of salads, I believe. I'm not connected to the internet at this time, so that's all the info I've got for you. Also, another sponsor, the P-Fund. The P-Fund Foundation is proud to partner with North Star Roller Derby. They are the Upper Midwest's LGBTQ community foundation. Check out their website, pfundfoundation.org, to learn more about their scholarships for students and grants to nonprofits. Thanks to P-Fund for your continued support. I'd also like to thank True North Roofing. True North Roofing for your continued support. A woman-owned and led residential contractor serving the Twin Cities. They also have tables at all of our home bouts, which will be happening once again at Quincy Hall in Northeast Minneapolis later on this year and early into 2027. We have a little official review going on here. One of these days, we're going to get some production assistants, and they're going to tell us what these official reviews are all about. Because, boy howdy, I'd love to tell you about them. Reminder to all you folks in the Midwest to stay hydrated and stay safe. Our air quality index has dropped about 200 points in the last few days, but, you know, could always be better. And we're still chatting about stuff. Olivia Kilometers making like a penguin and airing out. Increase that surface area. Take advantage of those breezes. It hot. Thanks to our EMTs today, we've got DB8, Slammy J, a.k.a. Jack, the other one, parentheses, and Kilroy, a.k.a. Killer. Thanks once again for joining us on this special rebroadcast on our YouTube channel of the 4th Annual Blood, Sweat, and Queers Pride Bout. It is in July, which is just our fun little way of extending our Pride Month halfway into this month afterwards. This year, like every year, we've got our after party at the Park Tavern. Thanks to Park Tavern for partnering with North Star Roller Derby. A rolling whistle means Derby is imminent. Dildo Baggins going to be jamming for the baddies against Slayer Mars. Slayer Mars going out there again. This is jam number 5. Dildo Baggins taking advantage of a little bit of Sonny Ono's offense on the outside there and picking up lead jammer status. Meanwhile, Angel Grinder is going to the box for, I think it was a forearm. Slayer Mars not too far behind the other baddies, or Dildo Baggins, excuse me. Baggins trying to tell their team to get on up there, start skating, buy some time. Didn't happen though, and we'll just wrap up jam number 5 in a tight 30 seconds there and go on to jam number 6. Jambied fist bumping tee shot. Tee shot jamming for Rainbow Fight. Jambi for the baddies. And away goes jam number 6. Trash Panda trying to deny Jambi, but Jambi will not be denied. And out they go for lead. Out she goes for lead jammer for the baddies. T-Shot getting some clapping encouragement from Slasha as they go around the track. T-Shot going for that side hit there on Areola Assault, able to sustain and pick up all 4 points, dancing around on the inside. Well done to T-Shot. 1 point for Jambi. More official timeouts. We don't have any specific timeout sponsor, but we can tell you more about our vendors. First of all, thanks to Brick Oven Bus for feeding our hungry spectators and skaters. It smells real darn good downwind from that bus. Local family-owned pizza company born and raised in Minnesota, excuse me. Tell you more about some of our vendors. We have Andrea Alice. Stop by Andrea Alice to check out their whimsical art and gifts. A Minneapolis-based artist and queer mom, Andrea makes art to imagine a more joyful and equitable future for the next generations. A lovely cause to be sure. Jam number 7. About to start here. Sabotage against number 86. And it'll be Yes Chef. Yes Chef getting out for lead jammer. Sabotage tiptoeing around the pack and able to get out for not lead jammer. Half a track behind, just a little bit more. Yes Chef has met with the back of the pack. Yes Chef being advised to call it by the bench. Call it. She does. Picked up 3, I believe, is what Kraut's holding up. Against 1, Detox, that's the other jam ref. Yep, 3-1 Rainbow Fight. Staying in the fight here, only 3 points behind the Leather Baddies, 39-36. Deja Cruz going to be skating for the fight. And that's Olivia Kilometers. Leather Baddies. Olivia not quite able to get around Killer B before getting knocked to the outside and ran all the way back. Yes, or Deja Cruz not having much more success trying to get through Hellebutt with 2 T's. Oh, there goes Olivia Kilometers with the Leather Baddies. Getting lead jammer, solving that question for jam number 8. Deja Cruz looking for some daylight, but great rotations there being played by the baddie blockers. Deja Cruz out for not lead jammer, to the delight of the crowd. And Olivia Kilometers gets out and calls it. After picking up 4 points. Keeping the Leather Baddies on top, 43-36. Slayer Mars is going to be wearing the Star for Rainbow fight against... Oh, okay, that is Fruit Bat. Fruit Bat keeping those limbs moving, pushing up against Angel Grinder now for lead jammer for the Baddies. Another Nona Terra Star Pass has occurred. This will be Star Pass from Slayer to Angel Grinder. Fruit Bat approaching the back of the pack. Many collisions. Everybody's hitting deck. Fruit Bat staying upright and trying to pick up some points before calling it off, as Angel Grinder is already at the back of the pack fighting against the baddie blockers. And Fruit Bat's going to fruit call it. I don't know if that's a thing. 40 fly sliding gracefully into the bench, or into the penalty box. Park Tavern penalty box. So we do have a sponsor after all for the penalty box. There goes jam number 10. This will be Jambi and Random NPC for the Baddies and the Rainbow fight. Beasley shoving up against T-Shot. And the 2 others. We've got number 73. That'll be Bonks. Jambi gets out first, but Random NPC gets out just afterwards and gets out a little bit faster, forcing Jambi to call it. Our scores will remain then, 47-37. Going into jam number 11, we have Deja Cruz versus Olivia Kilometers. Haven't seen any pivot line starts to my recollection yet. Everybody's feeling just fine starting at that jammer line. Olivia Kilometers trying to take advantage of the Bim Bomb and her offense. Everybody shall stay kind of where they are. However, Flirty Fly is out and going to be providing some offense against her former merch committee co-chair, Dildo Baggins. We have a no pack call. Deja Cruz able to sustain a hit from Yes Chef, avoiding Hellebutt with 2 T's, and going to juke Dildo Baggins and out for not lead jammer, but Olivia Miles is only for Olivia Kilometers. That's where Olivia Miles came from. All right, got it. Cool. Miles is approaching the back of the pack. We have a penalty, and we have a call-off. What's the score, though? It's going to be 2-2. So, still 10 points between the 2 teams, 49-39. Olivia Kilometers is doing an awful good job with those plays on words. Minnesota Lynx have a absolute dynamite point guard of a rookie this year, complete with afro and glasses, and the attitude for, Miles, Olivia Miles. Shout out Olivia Miles and the Lynx. Top of the league, always a great show. I think we are going to be having our first intermission. Yes, this is a little timeout in between. Just in the middle of the first period and second period, we're going to be having little breaks just so our skaters stay hydrated. We don't want anybody to have a bad time. We want to have a gay old time here at the 4th Annual Pride Bout. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We will be right back in just a few minutes. Okay, our mid-period break is over. Getting back on the track. Angel Grinder going up against the Gay Agenda. Classic clash, of course. Ooh, 5 seconds is called. That was pretty quick. We've got Flickabean. Some confusion there between Flickabean whether or not she was supposed to be on the track. Not legally anyway, because they already had 4 blockers out. This will be Angel Grinder getting on the inside for lead jammer for Rainbow Fight. Ooh, big hit there from Trash Panda, able to sustain, however. And I've been getting somebody's name wrong this entire time. The Gay Agenda is what's on the roster, but that's not what's on the t-shirt. We'll figure it out. Not to worry. T-shot will be going up against Dildo Baggins. Jam number 13. Again, I think this is going to be a whoops, all jam starts for our first of 2 bouts today. Dildo Baggins getting out with a vengeance. Popping out for lead jammer. T-shot stepping over a couple of down skaters and getting shoved to the out of bounds by aerial assault. Yep. And reforming in the back with Soft Butch Cassidy. The Bim Bomb and 1964. That's on a Sonny Ono. A whistle and Carmageddon gonna go to the box. Star Stash happened, allowing T-Shot to get out for not lead jammer after Dildo Baggins got that scoring pass going. Picks up some points and calls it. Did she get all 4? I believe that's a 3. So that'd be an 11-point jam for the Leather Baddies. That'll be 60-42, getting some separation between the 2 teams. Oh, I know what to ask.
On the roster it says the Gay Agenda, but I was looking at the back of her shirt. I'm like, that's not what that says. That was from last year. That's what I thought. Okay. I'll try to use my eagle eyes and figure it all out. Check it out. Just thought I'd ask.
Okay, I'm back. Fruit Bat is also back, wearing the star for the Baddies, and Random NPC jamming for Rainbow Fight. We've got a very light whistle, going to be going against Flickabean, going to the box. Looking real sorry about it, though. Random NPC's out for lead jammer for Rainbow Fight. Fruit Bat still fruit battling against Flirt, Deja Cruz, Faye, but that's not Faye's name today. It is Faye's name today. All right. Little Nona Terra Star Stash for Fruit Bat, and away they go. Random NPC going to be calling it off as they were falling out of bounds thanks to Halibut. Angel Grinder coming out against Femigorgon for the Fight and Baddies respectively. Blocking for the fight, we've got Rage, Sabotage, Slayer Mars, and Thrash Panda. Thrash Panda. I was saying Trash Panda this whole time, which was wrong. Femigorgon getting lead jammer for the Baddies. Not too far behind, though, is Angel Grinder, catching up very quickly. This is a very slippery track, though. It is an ice rink during the appropriate months. We've got a destruction of pack penalty being called by Lord Havoc on Slayer Mars. Slayer Mars just shrugging it off, going by the bench. Shout out to the Wildfires in the Boundary Waters for toning it down long enough for us to have an outdoor event without any of us worrying about falling over. T-Shot and Jambi, famous jamming duo. And yet more jam starts. The Rainbow Fight starting at a blocker deficit with Slayer Mars in the box. T-Shot trying to get through Areola Assault. We've got Dildo Baggins, Soft Butch Cassidy, and there's another blocker out there, but it's being... Oh, yes, that's Olivia Kilometers. Jamie trying to get around and just barely able to get around Killer B. Lead jammer for the baddies. T-Shot, however, out not too long afterwards. Just about half a track behind. Meanwhile, Slayer Mars is out of the box, trying to make her way back to the pack. Jamie gently calling it off. Falling out of bounds. A rope of some kind has become dislodged. Olivia Kilometers looking around for someone to take said rope. Oh, shout out to track maintenance. One of our satellites or space campers, eager to get drafted to the league, get on a home team, and start hitting their friends. Everyone loves doing that. Right, everyone? It is everyone. Pretty sure. Additional vendors, we've got Cryptid Nightcrafter, punk block, print patches, upcycled apparel, and stickers / embroidery. Thanks to Cryptid Nightcrafter for being a vendor here. We also have a Dove and Jess at secondhand.horror. Visit Dove and Jess of Secondhand Horror for your spooky book needs. We also have Pop Roxy with her handcrafted odds and ends. Tabling here is Pop Macabre. Check out NSRD's very own Pop Roxy's creation of obscure doll heads, planters, and more. She makes collages, and I may be biased, but those collages look just like they were photoshopped. She's got a great eye for those kinds of things. Subaru for the baddies trying to get her eye on lead jammer. Deja Cruz trying to keep that from happening. Jam 17, away we go. Subaru is now battling the front of the pack. Hellebutt providing some offense. Rainbow Fight recycling or reforming rather well. Looks like you have Bonks, Faye. Eager Beaver out there as well, blocking for the Rainbow Fight. And Subaru got a, whatever that hand chop motion penalty is, which means this will be a Rainbow Fight power jam for Deja Cruz and the rest of the fights. Rainbows are fights. Somebody else will come up with a catchier nickname in the comments, I'm sure. Shout out to YouTube and the comments. That's a good band name. YouTube in the comments. Great offense there being played by the Rainbow Fight, allowing Deja Cruz to get out for 4 points. 15-point deficit between the two teams, 65 for the baddies, 50 for the fight. Approaching for another scoring jam. The Bim Bom sniffing out Faye's offense and keeping Deja from an easy pass. Yes, Chef and Sonny Ono trying to keep Deja Cruz at bay. Great solo blocking effort here by Sonny Ono, almost able to shove Deja to the middle, not quite able to, so now they will rejoin the pack and try to spring Subaru. Subaru reaching for the star. Bim Bom is behind and sneakily getting by on the inside line. Deja Cruz going to call it off after picking up a lone additional point. Put the Rainbow Fight at just an 11-point deficit. Nope, never mind, it's 10. It's 10. I see, the baddies are acting like they are starting at the pivot line, but coming back to the jam line. Assault and Nattery going to be jamming for the Leather Baddies. Sabotage once again wearing the star for the fight. This is coming in there all sideways is Assault and Nattery. It looks pretty effective. It absorbs a hit there from Thrash Panda at the outside, and the back and forth shoving shall begin. Sneaking around the outside is Assault and Nattery. Lead jammer status. Sabotage, meanwhile, trying to get around Dildo Bag and Soft Butch Cassidy. Suffocation is the Gay Agenda's name. And it's all nines. Oh no, that'll be Assault Nattery going to the box for a penalty of some kind. Saying hello to her home team teammate Rage, who will be leaving the box here very shortly. Sabotage sneaking around the outside. Oh, just hit one little toe down, and Soft Butch Cassidy getting all the way back to the back of the pack. Heard some knee pad pops. Sure enough, that was Dildo Baggins hitting the deck. Suffocation and Sabotage doing a little Saf on Saf action in the back of the pack. Suffocation getting some good shoulder shrugs in on Sabotage. Keeping it bay. Assault and Nattery moving them feet on the outside, picking up speed and picking up 4 points for the Baddies, keeping that lead a lead. Meanwhile, Sappho Taj has passed the star to random NPC. And I think we're going to go to an injury timeout. Both teams seem to be comfortable with their strategy. The Rainbow Fight look like they want to be taking that jam line, and the Leather Baddies trying to just kind of get all up in their business by getting out in front. Jam is on. Flickabean for the Leather Baddies, trying to get through the pack. The pack is moving backwards quite a bit. Olivia Kilometers providing embrace. Beefy getting hit to the floor by Slayer Mars. Hellebutt recycling to the front, able to rejoin Aerial Assault, Olivia, and Beefy. Killer Bee trying to race to the front, provide some offense for Slayer Mars. Flicka got it to the outside by Cheeseburger. Angel Ground, big hit there by Margin of Terror on Rainbow Fight. A lot of defense with these two teams. Almost out was Slayer Mars, but Areola Assault says no. The last second at the top of the pack. Flickabean has daylight on the inside and gets out for lead jammer status. Killer Bee trying to put a stop to that, but not out in time. Star pass, Nona Terra star pass, helping the stars align, is out. Cheeseburger's now the jammer of note for Rainbow Fight. Flickabean is still trying to get through on a scoring pass, being yelled at to call it by the bench. Will Flicka call it? Not yet. Meanwhile, Cheeseburger trying to get through Hellebutt, Olivia Kilometers, or Aerial Assault. Aerial Assault sniffing out that pass just at the end. 6 seconds left. The star has been stashed by Flicka, and that'll be the end of jam number 19. Hella defense being played there by both teams, which means there's only 2 points for Rainbow Fight. 4 getting picked up there by Flicka and the Baddies. New jammer for Leather Baddies is going to be the Bim Bomb. Going up against T-Shot. T-Shot's 4th for the day, I think. Someone out there is keeping stats, I'm sure. Sonny Ono, Suffocation, Soft Butch, and Femigorgon trying to stop T-Shot. T-Shot is ahead of all of them, with the exception of Suffocation, and slowed down just enough so that the letter baddies get back in front. Quick reforming by the baddies. T-Shot is locked down behind the baddies. As I say that, a little bit of subterfuge on that faked out Nonatera Star Pass, and they're able to get out on the outside. However, we're going to get a penalty being called. It'll be on Sonny Ono on the baddies. T-Shot nearly had it. Got not to the inside, though, by Earl. Also their home team teammate of Suffocation. Suffocation on the solo mission at the back of the pack. Her other teammates keeping them in play. Faye has to stay where she is. Otherwise, she would be able to do a Star Pass. Star Pass has occurred. That'll be Faye getting out to the outside. Suffocation going to the box, taking Sonny Ono's place. So Sonny Ono's back. This is Faye able to sneak to the outside, picking up 4 points for Rainbow Fight. Meanwhile, a Star Pass has occurred. And that'll be Soft Butch Cassidy now wearing the star for the baddies. Bonks knew exactly what she did as soon as she did it. It was an inadvertent back block. And Suffocation rejoining the team for the baddies. Faye doing some jukes. Suffocation once again on that solo blocking mission. I think we're gonna, I heard a whistle. Don't know what the whistle was for. Oh, there'll be Suffocation going to the box for, I think, a high block. That's what I think. Surely someone in the comments will correct me. Oh, an intermission. It's our next one. We're going to say goodbye for just a few minutes. About 10 minutes or so, we'll rejoin the Derby action. Feel free to stay cool in your homes or wherever you're viewing our special rebroadcast of Blood, Sweat, and Queers, Volume 4 at the ROC in St. Louis Park. My name is Owen Money, and we will rejoin the Leather Baddie versus Rainbow Fight bout. Leather Baddie's on top, 80-68. And we will return in about 9.5 minutes. That's right, that was a rolling whistle. That means that we are done with our second of our intermissions. Getting to, let's call it quarter 3. First quarter of the second half, that just feels really weird and wrong to say, so I'm not going to say it anymore. Anyways, Owen Money back here with the start of our second half. There we go, that's better. Olivia Kilometers going up against Random NPC. You know who they're skating for at this point. Okay, we had some little bit of back and forth of the will they, won't they kind of break up that pack at the beginning of the jam. Both teams are going to start one blocker short. No pack, we've got that called. Flirty Fly is going to make sure that that pack stays a pack. Bonks is out of the box. Olivia Kilometer is going to strut on out for that lead jammer status for the baddies. Meanwhile, Random NPC is going to get out while Olivia meets the back of the pack once again. Olivia seeing a lot of her own teammates on the inside line. Cheeseburger sniffs out that pass, though, and will be knocking her to the inside. Random NPC is going to meet the back. And we're just going to call it off. Olivia's like, yeah, I got my 3 points. I'm done. Bye. Ta-ta. Other baddie's going to start out on the scoreboard. 82 points. Rainbow Fight was 68. Still anyone's game. We've seen some 16-point jams here already today. Everybody's going to stack up on that jammer line, and here goes Sonny Ono for the baddies and Angel Grinder for the fight. Fight reforming in the front pretty well to keep Sonny Ono at bay. Angel Grinder stuck behind Assault and Nattery, Fruit Bat, Jambi, and Dildo Baggins. And Sonny Ono finally able to find some daylight and get out for lead jammer. Supportive cheers coming from the bench of the baddies. Angel Grinder being advised to take the hat off and take the hat off the do. Oh, and that wasn't actually a star pass after all. Salty Mud kind of reminding Sonny Ono that, yeah, there's another jammer. That jammer got out. And doesn't matter, we'll just call it off. Jam 2 of half 2 is over. Leather Baddies putting 4 more points up on the board. Extending their lead. Oh no, math. 18. Yeah, I did it. Beefy is going to jam for the Leather Baddies against Sabotage for the Rainbow Fight. And Rainbow Fight, out in a hurry is Sabotage. Sabotage had one of those 16-point jams earlier, if I recall correctly. Beefy trying to get around Karma at the very top there and is able to stay in bounds and upright, picking up not lead jammer status. Sabotage staying in bounds, gets around the Bim Bomb and Helibet. Bug just flew into my mouth. That's nobody's derby name. It's just something that happened to me just now. Sabotage approaching the back of the pack. Running into Flickabean. And just goes to the inside and out for 4 more points. Rainbow Fight getting it back into the game here. Beefy able to stay in bounds as well. Picking up 4 points for the Leather Baddies. Sabotage calling it off as she's skating through. Pick up 3 more points. Another big jam for Sabotage and the Rainbow Fight. 79 to 90. 11-point jam. Rainbow Fight once again, shout out track maintenance. A lot of that's going to be happening today. It is hot. Okay, we have a little fake out there at the beginning. So the pack is going to start kind of in the middle of everything. The whistle happened. T-Shot going to go up against Areola Assault. Areola's first time jamming today. Certainly jammed before, just not today. Areola Assault trying to pick her way through. Nearly able to stay in bounds. Last minute hit there by Cheeseburgers. Able to get Areola to recycle to the back of the pack. Everybody's hitting the deck there on the first apex. T-Shot able to stay upright, though has to leave way to not get a track cut penalty, and away goes Areola Assault. 1 jam, 1 lead jammer. Pretty decent record, really. Let's find out what just happened there. T-Score able to stay in bounds? Yeah, Rego Derby able to make that call, so T-Shot's going to stay not lead jammer and out of the box, unlike Femigorgon, who goes to the box for, I'm going to say, a forearm. I'm not sure. No points for T-Shot on that pass. 94 to 79. Here comes Rage for the Rainbow Fight against Dildo Baggins. Wait, we've got 2 stars. You can't have 2 stars. There we go. All right, it'll be Slayer Mars instead for Rainbow Fight going up against. We're doing some rock, paper, scissors to find out who wants to be lead jammer, but it's going to be Dildo Baggins able to shove through that wall of Rainbow Fighters for lead jammer status. Fruit Bat able to swoop in at the last moment to keep Slayer Mars from getting out right away. But a little bit of time, and a little bit of time is sometimes all you need. 4 quick points for Dildo Baggins for the Leather Baddies. 98-79. Rainbow Fight scoreless in that jam. That was jam number 5. So we'll do jam number 6. This will be Yes Chef versus Rage. Rainbow Fight starting to kind of pick up where Leather Baddies were doing this a lot in the first half of the bout. Was trying to take that front of the pack to try to mess up the blockers in the back. Doesn't work this time, though. Out goes Yes Chef for lead jammer status. Nona, Terra, Star Stash has happened. Rage able to get out for not lead jammer status as Yes Chef approaches the back of the pack. Yes Chef trying to fight their way through the middle again. Able to stick it out on the outside, and a little bit of jukes get him out for 4 more points for the Baddies. Rage actually passes the Star this time around to Karma. And that'll be a Nona Terra Star Pass. That'll be 3 points on that Star Pass for Karma, causing Yes Chef to call it off. Baddies hitting the century mark first, 106. Rainbow Fight able to put some points up, getting to 82. Okay, Rainbow Fight said, we're not taking the front of the pack no more, we're done with that. And Deja Cruz is going to be jamming for the fight. And first time jammer today will be Soft Butch Cassidy. Subaru putting some decent offense out there for Soft Butch. What did I say, Slow Butch? That's not what is on the shirt. It is soft. Okay. We rejoin Aerial Assault and Deja Cruz at the back of the pack, along with Subaru and Sunny Ono. Suffocation maintaining that pack, along with T-Shots, forming those bridges to keep all players in play. Soft Butch trying to break up that triangle in front. Doing some jukes, able to sneak to the outside very briefly, lay a shoulder into bonks, and get out for lead jammer status for the Baddies. Star Stash has happened. Suffocation boxing out T-Shot, and Soft Butch able to go around the outside for the easiest pass of the day so far. 4 more points for the Baddies. Deja Cruz able to get around Aerial Assault just barely, smashes into Subaru and tries to juke to the outside. Stuck there, however. Star Pass has occurred. Shout out to Nona Terra for sponsoring our Star Passes today. Soft Butch softly approaching the outside and getting hit to the outside by Eager Beaver and Flirty Fly and Bonks. Couple of big hits. That'll be Deja Cruz on Soft Butch. T-Shot approaching the back of the pack with a Star gingerly clinging on for dear life onto that helmet. How many points we got? That'll be 10 for the Baddies. Rainbow Fight once again scoreless. Baddies doing a great job on defense, stifling the Rainbow Fight comeback so far. Plenty of derby left. 5 seconds getting called. Assault and Nattery for the Baddies and Angel Grinder for the fight. Assault and Nattery nearly able to stay in bounds on their tiptoes. Oh, tries to go back to the well, and the well remains dry. Meanwhile, Angel Grinder doing a little side surf motion and able to get out for lead jammer status for the fight. Fight fans love to see it. Assault and Nattery out as well. While Angel approaches the back of the pack at a slow, deliberate pace, getting shrugged to the outside by Flicka. Angel scoops to the inside, picks up 4 points. Looks like 4 points, yep. Sauerkraut says 4 points, so 4 points will be scored. Assault still picking their way through the pack. Angel approaching once again. getting stifled by Beefy, Olivia Kilometers, and Dildo Baggins. I will be continuing to use Dildo Baggins' full name for the duration of this broadcast. Flicka trying to do some offense. Rainbow Fight saying, we got this. Assault Nattery getting run all the way to the back. Angel Grinder has had enough, and she will call it off after picking up a point on that pass. That'll be a 5-point jam for Angel Grinder and Rainbow Fight. Baddies also picked up 3, thanks to Assault and Nattery. Sabotage once again for the fight, and Jambi skating. Other baddies getting some words of wisdom, advice, something like that from Sauerkraut. Sabotage able to pick their way through it to the front of the pack yet again. Sabotage, very successful skater here today for Rainbow Fight. Approaching the back of the pack with some speed, going from outside to inside, causing a pileup on that inside line. We got a high block being called on Fruit Bat. Taller folks typically wind up committing more on average high blocks, as everybody else's face is right about where their elbows are. Not much you can do about that. Anyways, rejoining the action. Jambi drifting through and sustaining a hit from Thrash Panda, picking up 4 more points for the baddies. Meanwhile, Suffocation and Fruit Bat have been trapped in the box at the end of jam number 9. This is either an official review or an official intermission. Once again, shout out track maintenance. I think that's a couple of our space campers. All right, 95 to 127. The Leather Baddies trying to put this one away. We've got just under 17 minutes left for this bout. Going into the 10th jam, and the Baddies are going to start 2 blockers shy of a full blocking line. Fruit Bat must be standing very shortly. One of our heads of production, Balarana Grande, is walking around with a jar with a mysterious material inside of it. It's like beeswax or perhaps honey. Maybe a mystery third thing. In any case, Femigorgon and Areola Assault trying to hold down the fort for the Leather Baddies while they wait for Suffocation and Fruit Bat to leave the Park Tavern penalty box. Fight and Rage will be jamming for the fight here against Yes Chef. Little jammer on jammer action. And Rage trying to... Oh, Yes Chef able to get out of the pack first for the lead jammer status. Rage is trapped behind Demogorgon and Areola Assault. As I say that, they tip their toes and are out for not lead jammer, but out all the same. Fast and Lucy is Rage's on-roster name. The shirt name says Rage. We'll figure this out maybe later. And post some comments. Suffocation, meanwhile, is out of the box. Areola will replace them in the box. Rage being reminded that they are not lead and will stop making the call-it-off motion. Putting some speed on, though, on the outside, picking up 4 points. And meanwhile, Yes Chef is trapped for now behind Eager Beaver, Bonks, Flirt, and Deja Cruz. Excuse me, the air quality index has gone down, but it has not gone perfect. All right, Areola Assault is out of the pack, or out of the box. So is Fruit Bat, so is Suffocation. Femigorgon never went to the box. That'll be 2 points for Rage, 3 points. 3 points for Yes Chef. Pardon me. Beefy and Slayer Mars thrilled to find each other wearing stars behind the jammer line. for jam number 11. 5 seconds is called. Rainbow Fight staying well out of the way here so that both lines of blockers can do their blocker thing. Subaru, however, is able to provide some offense, for Beefy. Beefy sticking with that outside line plan. Cheeseburger trying to make him regret it, sure enough. Beefy gets ran a little bit backwards. Slayer Mars, meanwhile, is trapped behind Dildo Baggins, Sonny Ono, and Soft Butch Cassidy. T-Shot needs to give up the ghost on the outside there because blocking out a play will put you in the box, which means that Beefy is out for lead jammer for the Baddies. Approached the halfway mark of the second half. Short whistle blast, and we will find out that we have had a forearm called on Dildo Baggins. Beefy getting tracked down there by a couple of blockers. Slayer Mars trying to keep Beefy behind them. Little jammer on jammer action. Slayer able to smack Beefy to the outside. I'm sure they're still friends, though. Probably. Drama, though, you never know. You just never know. Angel Grinder for Dildo Baggins, Dildo hollering at her team, reminding them that there's actually Dildo Baggins in the box. Hella Butt with 2 T's doesn't care. Going to get lead jammer status for the Baddies anyway. Angel Grinder not too far behind. Got out real quick. Each of these. Yep, just a little bit of a shrug there from Suffocation, able to keep Angel Grinder from picking up 4 easy points. Angel does get by on the inside rather easily, though, on that last bit. Picks up 4 points after making sure that the box is empty. 4 for each team, so it'll still remain a 33-point differential between the 2 teams. Leather Baddies on top of Rainbow Fight. Rainbow Fight has hit the century mark, however, with 12 minutes and 30 seconds left in our game. Olivia Miles getting a high five from Sabotage. They're also on a home team together. For NSRD, and we've got Sabotage against Miles. Yep, like I just said. Bonk's getting Olivia to the inside. Both teams performing some pretty solid reforming. However, Sabotage able to take advantage of some slippery track action. Picking up lead jam for the Rainbow Fight. Or just Rainbow Fight. We'll figure this out one day. Anyways, the Bim Bomb is out of the box and getting to the back. We have a penalty of some kind. That'll be Rage going to the box for a thing that they did wrong. That she did wrong, excuse me. Suffocation trying to get through Nat, Bimbo, and Themagorgon. Sabotage calling it off after picking up an additional point. So that'll be, I think that'll put the Jam's total up to 5. Just 5? Okay, 5 is fine. 5 for the fight, so that's 114 to the Leather Baddies 146. Fruit Bat once again jamming for the Baddies. Frequent flyer Slayer Mars. Rainbow Fight. We got a team timeout, I believe. It's a regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill team timeout being called by Rainbow Fight. We have an all-gender bout coming up. After this, that will conclude today's programming. Not quite yet. We have a track maintenance request, but all track maintenance folks are still track maintenancing. I'm going to use this opportunity to grab some additional water. I'll be right back. Thank you very much. I didn't miss anything. All right, Fruit Bat versus Slayer Mars. Fruit Bat is going to pick up a high block right away, which means Slayer Mars and Rainbow Fight trying to take advantage of this power jam. Slayer Mars hitting up against Subaru at the front. Subaru is then rejoined in a short order by Soft Butch and Areola Assault. Offense on the outside is going to benefit Slayer Mars. Picks up lead jam by picking by on the inside. Staying on the corner, Jammer is standing. So Rainbow Fight still kind of moving around. Big offense coming in there from Rainbow Fight, courtesy of Random NPC, Cheeseburger, Road Rage, and Eager Beaver. Rage and Eager Beaver, excuse me. Fruit Bat keeps those feet moving and shoves the way to the middle for not lead Jammer. Forcing Slayer Mars to call it off after picking up 2 additional points. Pretty sweet maneuvers there by both teams. Leather Baddies keeping a power jam to just 6 points. Rainbow Fight able to get through and get some more points on the board. T-Shot trolling their home teammate, Hellebutt, with some sweaty hugs. Hellebutt not having it. Hellebutt sees some daylight on the outside, not able to stay in bounds. Little Thrash Panda running him back. And Hellebutt meets the shoulder of Killer Bee and rejoins the rest of the pack with a margin of terror, Angel Grinder, and Thrash Panda. Able to outfight him on the outside. Hellebutt with 2 Ts. More lead jammer for the Leather Baddies. T-Shot stashed it and got out anyway. Hellebutt taking advantage of some miscommunication on the Rainbow Fight and picks up 4 more points. And calls it off for casually skating out of bounds. We got everything here at the ROC Pride Bout. We've got pool noodle fights. We've got pizza on a bus. We've got all kinds of various arts and crafts. We got tarot readings. We got a bunch of happy faces in the audience today. Thanks everybody for joining. And jam is on. So this will be Faye Smelter, or just Faye today. That's what I got on my roster. That'll be Karma going to the box for a direction of play penalty. Everybody's fighting everybody else. And Faye's going to Rainbow Fight her way out for lead jammer. Jambi able to make it through the pack as well, about just under half a track behind. Faye stays low and sneaky and is able to outlast Femigorgon for 4 points for Rainbow Fight. 30 points between the two teams, just over 7 minutes left in the bout. Faye saw that hit coming from Assault and Nattery. Nearly had her, got her way out. Assault and Nattery, though, able to bonk her enough to get out to to out of bounds. Jambi in the meanwhile fighting against Rage and Deja Cruz. Faye able to step her way through that second apex for 4 more points. Jambi meanwhile getting ran back by Flirt and Bonks. Karma and Deja Cruz. 4 more points for Rainbow Fight. Faye putting her mark on the bout. 12 points so far. She's got 26 more seconds to get more points. Jambi, meanwhile, still trying to get through some more points. Takes a breather. We're trying to get through Karma, Deja, and Flirt. Bonks bonking her way in the back there, trying to provide some offense for Faye. Looks like the Leather Baddies have finally stymied Faye on this particular jam, which will be coming to a close as I speak. Huge jam for Faye and the Fight. Another good band name. I think it's just The Fight at the end is probably a really fun way to talk about the music that you're making with your friends or hired people on Craigslist or whomever you decide to make music with. All right, just 19 points now between the two teams. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Areola Assault. Rare second jam for Areola. And a common Slayer Mars jam. Areola taking the brute force approach. Mostly successful, however, the rest of Rainbow Fight smartly and astutely reforming in front, making Areola's job just a little bit harder. That is not a nipple joke. Meanwhile, Slayer Mars is stuck behind Helibut, Fruitbat, and Subarude. Soft Bush and Cheeseburger, and now that'll be Random NPC, creating a very long bridge, helping their Rainbow Fight keep Areola Assault from getting out for lead jammer, but they finally do. We've got a penalty being called on, drum roll please. That'll be Cheeseburger for a penalty of some variety. We've got another Nonaterra Star Pass. This will be going to Random NPC. Trying to get around for some points. Not quite able to despite the hustle and effort. Areola Assault able to score, I think, 8 points on that jam. We'll find out here in a second. Right now it just says 4. And it's going to stay that way. Alrighty, so this will be Yes Chef versus Killer Bee. I think this is Killer Bee's first time jamming for Rainbow Fight. Rainbow Fight starting with 1 cheeseburger short. And Yes Chef able to get all the way out in a very big hurry. Killer Bee not too far behind, putting on some sweet side surfing moves and sustaining a blow from Dildo Bagans. Yes Chef popping through for that lead, for that scoring pass, able to scoot by Thrash Panda at the very end. And calls it off, keeping Cheeseburger in the box. We called it off a little bit early just to ensure that Olivia Kilometers has some time, or a little bit of, so maybe just takes a little free time to get, make it a little bit easier. There we go, avoiding too many people on a track penalty. Pretty sure that's a penalty. Olivia Kilometers is going to tiptoe her way to the outside for a great start, or a great initial pass. Able to just barely keep those toe stops in bounds. Fancy footwork and lead jammer for the Baddies. Approaching the back of the pack already to score some more points for the Baddies. Meanwhile, a star pass has occurred. Deja Cruz going to get out with the star in hand and now on head. Deja is going to be approaching the back, able to score points. And Olivia is forced to then call it after picking up 2 points. 3 points. Points for the Baddies, holding the fight scoreless. Slayer Mars once again for Rainbow Fight against Helibut. Baddies once again taking the front of the pack. trying to jam up the fight. Eager Beaver, Faye, Random NPC, and Sappho Taj are not able to stop Hellebutt from getting out on the outside for lead jammer status. Slayer Mars taking advantage of some offense and some confusion, being not lead jammer, but a jammer nonetheless and able to score points. Swing and a miss at the end there by Random NPC, making sure everybody's okay. And they are. Just over a minute remaining. I don't know if the Rainbow Fight can put 30 points, 38 points up in a minute. That will be tasked with Angel Grinder. Yes, Chef also. Yes, Chef going to be jamming for the baddies. Angel for the fight. Yes, Chef trying to dance around Killer Bee, Thrash Panda, Rage, and Flirt. Angel able to hop away to the inside for a lead jammer. Yes, Chef, about 30 feet in the past. That doesn't make any sense. Behind. Now just 20. Approaching at some speed. And a little call off is going to happen. 2 points. We have a timeout being called by Slasha. Yeah, that'll be 2 more points for Leather Baddies. Fight once again scoreless. 35 points between Baddies and the fight. We got some more track maintenance coming out, which everybody loves, of course. Another vendor joining us here at the ROC in St. Louis Park, Riots Not Diets. Riots Not Diets embraces the queer ethos of DIY to celebrate anti-capitalism fashion that DGAF about heteronorms. Kisses and hugs from Riots Not Diets. Sweet cause that we can all get behind. Samuel Leopold Sullivan is an artist and educator based in St. Paul, Minnesota. Their conceptual work explores the collective subconsciousness with goals for healing and better self-understanding. Currently, they are also having a lot of fun making glass. Currently, they are also having a lot of fun with glass, making tiny critters. 5 seconds bellowed out by You're the Mad Statter. We're going to have Fruit Bat versus T-Shot for what may be our final jam of. 206 will be getting a backlight. It'll be T-Shot. That will likely salt away the Rainbow Fight's chances for winning this particular bout, but that's okay. Everybody's having a great time here at the 4th Blood, Sweat, and Queers at the ROC in St. Louis Park. Fruit Bat approaching the back of the pack, calling for some offense. We will get chaos. And Fruit Bat going to avoid a track cut penalty by going back and re-entering play behind Bonks. We're going to have a whistle. It's going to be a multiplayer block. Yeah, multiplayer block being called on Cheeseburger. Fruitback taking nearly everyone down with them. Yep, we're good. Yep, everybody's good. Everybody's checked in with everybody else. And Fruitbat is going to check the numbers on the jam ref's hand for 4 points. Smooth, Owen. Real smooth. Okay. T-Shot is out and not lead jammer in a big, big hurry. 35 seconds remaining in the very first bout of the day. Fruitback calling it off like a rock star. And bringing our very first bout here to a conclusion, getting some hugs there from Flickabean. And that'll do it for our first bout of the day. We will be back for our second one. The Leather Baddies come out on top, 178 to the Rainbow Fights, 135. Thanks to all of our officials. There's the rolling whistle for the final official score. And we will be back. Well, I'll just do the little, the little snippy snip, TV magic so that we can get right back into the action for our gender mixer bouts that will be happening here at the very same place that you're just looking at. So, my name's Owen Money, and we will be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bout 2 of our 4th annual Blood, Sweat, and Queers Pride Bout here at the St. Louis Park Recreational Outdoor Center, or ROC for short. My name is Owen Money, and we have an all-gender bout coming up between two teams. We have the Subaru Smash and the U-Haul Brawls. These teams are comprised of skaters all over the metro, kind of like the first bout that we had, but this time we are taking all genders who want to run into their friends and new friends. So we have some additional skaters on the track whom you may not have seen before. Why not we go through the roster, starting with the U-Haul Brawls. You got number 011, Ballerana Grande. You may have seen her with a different costume. There are multiple costumes with Baller usually. Number 19 is Slash. Number 226 is Cleopatra. Number 308 is Carl Marksman. Number 40 is Dicksplosion. Number 54 is Shark as Attack. Number 69 is Mando. 906 is Sass Appeal. Number 919 is Buck. Number 94 is Fast and Lucy. And number 4 is Shank Herella. Moving on to the Subaru Smash in black, we've got 003 is Vecchi, number 142 is MN Ice, number 24 is Penis Flytrap, number 24-7 is the Energizer Baddie, number 33 is Sailor Cooch, number 426 is Ripley, number 58 is Salty, 69 is Assault and Nattery, 710 is the Bim Bomb, number 84 is Lolly Gag Her, and number 981 is Dougie. Right, bench staff. U-Haul Brawls have Ariel and Coli, and the Subaru Smash have Sunny and Bonks. Seems to be a Dazzle in the middle. Dazzle is the animal collective for zebras, as you all know. And they're all in a group in the middle. We're getting the thumbs up from Bookham, I believe. And it's Derby! We're back playing Derby with our friends and our new friends. The first jammers we have here are Sass Appeal for the Brawls and this, right? Yeah, Subaru Smash is in black, and that'll be number 003, Vecchi. Getting a thumbs up from all of our friends. Got MN Ice, Dougie, Ripley, and Assault and Nattery blocking against Sass at first. Force Vecchi using a shoving maneuver and able to bulldoze his way through to the front of the pack. Sass is also able to pop out and grab not lead jammer status. A lot of Derby experience out there today. And there is Vecchi getting 2 points, getting the scoring started for our all-gender bout. And it's Sailor Cooch and Slayer Mars. Slayer Mars is back. A couple of Sailor Moon references just right out of the gate, I guess. All right. Sailor Cooch trying to get around Carl Marksman, Shug, Buck, and Rage. Rage skating again as Fast and Lucy. I think. That's what's on the roster, at least. Doom getting some cheers from the crowd. Fast and Lucy, a.k.a. Rage, able to get everybody back in together to make sure that Sailor Cooch doesn't have an easy time getting by on the outside. Carl Marksman in the spectacles gets the star pass and gets around for not lead jammer. That's another Nona Terra star pass. And the jam is called. Penis Flytrap firing up the crowd. Everybody gets to root for Penis. This, I feel, is by design. All right, Sasbury is back, or Sassapeel is back. For the U-Hauls, trying to get them on the board. A lot of jostling in the pack. Flytrap not quite able to make it around Dicksplosion. Dicksplosion coming out of retirement for another bout. Penis Flytrap trying his luck in the middle of Ballerana Grande. Dicksplosion. Karen is out there. Forearm being called on, that'll be number 4, Shankarella. Both jammers stuck in, but not Sassapeel. Sassapeel's out for lead jammer, trying to get the scoring going for the Brawls. And a track cut penalty being called on Penis Flytrap. Power jam for the Brawls. Let's see what they can do. We can get some offense on the outside by Dicksplosion. 4 points for Sass. Penis Flytrap just trying to hang out with his friends. Nope, you got to go to the right chair in the box there. Brilliant spin move by Sassapeel. 4 more points. We got a lead change. There may be a lot of those, so, get your hopes up. Coming in the back. Some more offense by Dick. We have a Dicksplosion and Penis Flytrap on the track at the same time. Who'd have thunk? Baller till Shank, I'll just meet you there. It's fine. And Sass will call it off to avoid any kind of further confusion. 2 more points for Sassapeel. First team in double digits. Coming up next, we got Shug. Right. Shark as attack. Jamming for the U-Hauls. Vecchi is back for the smash. Karl Marxman able to barely hit Vecchi out of bounds there and run him back just a little bit. Looking over his shoulder is Karl, then backs up with him. Clears him out to the inside. No pass, no penalty. And no pass there, says Mando. Vecchi trying to dance around on the outside without any luck. Meanwhile, Shark as attack, trying to navigate around. Looks like we got, that's going to be a big old pile up there, courtesy of Vecchi. Vecchi able to juke Karl Marxman out finally and get out for lead jammer status. 30 seconds into the jam. Star stash, excuse me. This will be Shark as attack attempting to make it through Lollygag her, the Bim Bomb, and Salty Mod. Vecchi, meanwhile, knifing his way through. 4 more points. Currently all knotted up at 10. Not for long. Oh, Vecchi swivels those hips, gets around on the inside line, and picks up 4 more points in a hurry. Regaining the lead. Subaru smash. Sailor Cooch coming back out against Slayer Mars. I'm digging the jammer rotation so far. Makes it easier for me to talk about things. All right. Energizer Batty, Dougie, Ripley, and Shankarella for the smash. Slasha, Shankarella, Buck, and Dick. Explosion, that is. Dick almost able to hip check Sailor Cooch to the inside, but not quite. Sailor able to withstand and keep the ball rolling. Skates rolling, excuse me. Oh, Sailor wanted a no pass, no penalty. She thought that Dicksplosion's skate hit the track as she hit him out. Outside pack ref said no, didn't. That's not how that happened. And now we've got the Brawls on a power jam. Trying to take advantage of that is Slayer Mars, and able to withstand that final hit there from random NPC. Right? That is. Something will line up eventually, and I will let you know when that happens. In the meantime, Dougie's able to keep Slayer scoreless for now. Ripley getting into that strong 2-point split stance. However, it's too strong and gets a multiplayer block for troubles. Slasha keeping Doom from passing around on the outside. Another kind of home team on home team violence. We're all queer now, though. I don't know what that means. Anyways, lots of very tight defense here being played by both of these teams on that second straightaway. Ooh, Dougie able to pop Sailor Mars out. Keep him from picking up all those points. Let's find out how many they got. That is the natural conclusion of that particular jam. That's a 3 or a 4 being held up. 3 points. Molly Gager coming into the jam line rock and roll style. Penis Flytrap is back. So Sass Appeal. Sass Appeal not quite able to dance around everybody. There's a no pass, no penalty I would expect coming up here. Yep, that's right. So that means that Penis Flytrap can still get lead jammer, but not if Mando has anything to say about it. Big hit, big shoulder check there to the inside. Baller going back to Joyner to keep Penis Flytrap at bay. Salty Mod coming in with some offense as well as MN Ice. Filling in the gaps, though, is Carl Marksman and drawing back Penis Flytrap. Still no lead jammer, but Sass is putting points up on the board for the U-Haul Brawls, producing yet another lead change. Penis getting marched to the outside, or the inside, rather, by Carl. Carl thought he had him. Not quite. So Nonatera Star Pass has occurred. Straight into the waiting arms of Mando. Mando being supported by Ballerina. Ballerina Grande, excuse me. I misspoke. Sass is not bothered. She's going to keep going around in circles and keep getting points. Sass gets around to Salt and Nattery and then gets hip checked by any number of... That could have been anybody, frankly. Molly Gager putting her hand up saying, yep, that was me. Salt and Nattery getting in the way. There's enough time to do something about it. Star Pass has occurred, so that means that there will be no lead jammer, and this will be yet another 2-minute jam. Sass Appeal, more like Spin Appeal. Out for 4 more points. Meanwhile, MN Ice isn't having much more luck against this tight wall of blockers. Baller on a solo blocking mission until she can't go blocking no more. And that is another 2-minute jam. 16 big points being put up there by Sass Appeal for the U-Haul Brawls. 4 is still picked up, though, by relief jammer MN Ice. Shark as attack skating for the Brawls, and the Subaru Smash trying to get back in the lead, putting Becky back out there. Becky's got 1 fewer blocker to deal with because Carl Marksman's still in the box. Becky with the quick feet on the inside line, able to pick up lead jammer status before 5 seconds even goes by. Good comms from the bench and on the track. Make sure that the white blockers know that the jammer is in fact here. And he's gone again. Good defense, good offense. Means Becky is once again out. Carl is standing. Dougie putting up some crazy offense. And Becky bouncing Shark as attack to the outside. Just to be, you know, a really nice guy. We've got a forearm penalty being called here on 424 or 426. That'll be Ripley. Shark as attack is not the lead jammer. And Vecchi's going to not call it off. He's going to keep it rolling around to make sure that Ripley gets out of the box so that they start at full strength once they get there. Shark as attack, putting 4 points up for the U-Haul Brawls. Carl Marksman is out of the box. Gives Vecchi a little tap on his way through for 4 more points. Shark as attack, almost spinning their way to the outside. Dougie is going to draw her back, though. Oh, and Shark as attack is going to pick up a track cut penalty. Dougie positioning herself just so. A couple of fist bumps between Carl and Vecchi. Feel free to, if you are a person who has a gender and has not found a roller derby team yet to join, we have the Orbitals. That's the North Star Roller Derby's all-gender program. A couple of those skaters are being featured here today. Some of them are already NSRD members who just decided they wanted a different look on the track. Different pace as well. Shout out to Brick Oven Bus for showing up and feeding all of our hungry spectators and skaters. I ordered the pizza that's just called meat, and it's got a lot of meat on it. It's very delicious. Probably one of the quickest turnaround times you'll ever see on a food truck. I ordered and then was eating pizza within 4 or 5 minutes. Pretty good stuff. Salty Maud trying to get the attention of Lolly Gager, who is having absolutely none of it and would rather dance. You can probably listen to Salty and dance at the same time, but why would you risk that? There's too much at stake. A 20-point jam from Vecchi puts the Subaru Smash back on top. And U-Haul Brawls are going to start with their jammer in the box. This will be a power jam for Subaru Smash and Sailor Cooch. Didn't have to say it like that, but I did. Mando following Cooch all the way to the outside from the inside, staying in front the entire time. A little bit of a spill there. Some folks losing their balance. I mean, wheels do make things a lot slippery, and the floor here is not very grippy whatsoever. Great recycling happening here from the U-Haul Brawls, making sure that Shark as attack has enough time to get out of the box and still have a chance to pick up lead jammer, which she does. Fortune in the back is blocking for the smash are Salty, Nat, Energizer Batty, and Salty. Shug is out and is going to pick up lead jammer status. So, despite starting the jam in the box, picking up lead for her team. Wally Gager getting that Nona Terra Star Pass. Salty says, I don't want this jam to go on no more, and smacks Shark as attack to the inside of the track. Shark as picks up 2 points and knocks us all up at 42. New jammer for the Smash is going to be number 142, MN Ice. MN Ice took a star pass earlier, so this is not the first time under the star. Just the first time starting with it. Sassafil going to park herself directly in front of. Try to little jammer on jammer action. Sassafil trying to set up what appeared to be some kind of offensive attempt, and a brilliant move on the tippy toes by Sassapeel. Picks up lead jammer again. Minnesota Ice is getting sent to the box for reasons that the officials definitely know. Much jostling, etc. In the middle, plenty of chaos. Sass nearly able to stay in bounds. Gets run all the way back. A lot of offense being played by Dick Explosion, Shankarella, Buck, and Carl Marksman. Sass has a couple more folks to beat. Staying kind of locked up there, and a little shrug from Dougie. And another shrug from Dougie, and Sass is all the way back. Buck trying to keep Ripley from bringing her back any further. And Sassapeel is now 20 feet behind the pack. Edmund Ice is out. Sassapeel is around for 4 more points for the U-Haul Brawls. All knotted up on the first. And a Nonatera Star Pass has occurred straight into the awaiting blocking of Buck, Carl, and Dick. 3 syllables, 3 names. What a deal. Sass fighting her way through, trying to outlast Dougie, and does. Picks up 4 more points for the U-Haul Brawls. 20 seconds left. I think we're going to go the full 2 minutes yet again. If you thought masochism didn't exist in roller derby, you are absolutely incorrect. 9 seconds left. And we're going to call it. No reason to prolong that anymore. Going from a tie to somebody having the lead does count as a lead change. So this is another lead change. 51 for the U-Haul Brawls and 42 for the Subaru Smash. We might have a timeout being called. Nope. They're just taking the full 30 seconds to get into. Nope, we got a timeout. This will be a timeout being called by Cola. You may know her as Buy Some Merch. You should all buy some merch. There's all kinds of new stuff coming out from the merch department at North Star Roller Derby. This year we've got a couple of new keychains in various colors and designs. There are t-shirts, hats, bandanas, just a whole grab bag of just fun stuff. Because you know what Derby is? It is absolutely fun stuff. Other fun stuff we've got. You're watching this on a special rebroadcast. You don't get to take advantage of the screen printing that is happening here. We've got a couple of different designs designed by Roxy and Hex Girlfriend. We also have hair tinsel during the bout. We've got other tables to talk about. We've got the Space Campers. So the Space Camp is the group of skaters for North Star Roller Derby who have gone through our Satellites program sometimes, not always, but they are a group of folks who wish to get drafted to the league to get on a home team, and the Space Campers are here doing hair tinsel, so that's fun. Shout out Space Camp. All right, shout out jam number 10, which is now underway. Becky is jamming once again, trying to get around Baller. Baller trying to put up a fight. And off goes Becky for lead jammer. Fast and Lucy is being pretty deliberate on the outside there and doing a great job staying in bounds on the tippy toes. Becky getting hit to the outside, putting on some speed and putting on a little spin move before calling it off. Fast and Lucy trying to pick up some points. Nothing for her. And nothing for Becky either, so that's a 0-0 jam. Jam 10, we hardly knew thee. On to jam 11, we've got Sailor Cooch, we've got Sassapeel, we've got an empty box, which means we've got 8 blockers. Lollygager trying to keep Sassapeel from going around the complete to the outside. Ripley making sure that Sass gets hit to the inside before recycling all the way back. Sailor Cooch, meanwhile, is fighting around Shark as attack, Dicksplosion, and Carl Martzman. Shark as attack getting that run back cut short by Dougie. Sassapeel has beat all of the blockers and just has to stay in bounds and get out, and she does. So, Sassapeel once again picking up lead jammer for the U-Haul Brawls. The star is in hand. Looking for Min Ice. Emin Ice has that hopeful recipient of the star pass. Explosion says no. Sass is fighting against Dougie and Ripley and staying in bounds, carving that wheel just onto the tape and the rope. Is Sassapeel staying in bounds and 4 more points. The star has hit the deck. Good thing Sailor Doom just picked it right up. Lollygager and Carl Marksman, the odd ducks in the back. Star Pass has been completed. MN Ice is the relief jammer for jam number 11. 38 seconds remaining, and we're just going to call it off. After all that jamming and all that skating, 5 more points for the U-Haul Brawls, pushing their lead to 11 over the Subaru Smash. Everyone's favorite skater to root for, Penis Flytrap, is back. And Shankarella is going to be skating for the U-Haul Brawls as a jammer for the first time today. Another empty box, full, and there goes Shankarella, able to knife her way through. That'll be a little dance moves on for our EMTs, making sure that they stay entertained, but not in the bad way. Penis Flytrap has a couple of the folks to beat, levels Baller, and gets out for not lead jammer. Shankarella, meanwhile, trying to get around the Bim Bomb Salty. Shankarella's arms are pinned at her sides and is unable to call it off. Random NPC. Shank's being told to call it, and had been for quite a while. Let's find out if Penis Flytrap. 2 points. 2 points for him and the Subaru Smash. And this will be our intermission for this all-gender bout. We have a slightly abbreviated bout times, bout halves for this one. We have a lot of folks that skated in the first one, skating in this one too. So we want to make sure that nobody, gets injured. Nobody's fatigued to the point of where they can't skate safely anymore. My name's Owen Money. We've got a 10-point game here between the Subaru Smash and the U-Haul Brawls, and we will be right back in approximately 9 minutes. Hot dog, we are back. Only 30 seconds remaining in the intermission. Shout out to Brick Oven Bus. That's a dang good pie. Nice folks, too. Find them on the internet. They are the only Brick Oven Bus, especially based here in Minnesota. Pretty close contest here between the two teams so far. 47 for the Smash, 47 for the Brawls. Have I not talked about some of these sponsors yet? Stone Fruit Illustration. Stone Fruit's key collection features stickers, keychains, apparel, and accessories designed for sweethearts with a pit. Soft on the outside with a little mischief beneath the surface. Thank you for Stone Fruit Illustration for joining us here today. The ROC in sunny, but not too hot, St. Louis Park. I think this is the most tolerable weather we've ever had for one of these. I don't remember if I've said that before. I'm sorry, I'm drunk on pizza. Not actually intoxicated. I just really like pizza. Okay, we have a Sass letting Salty knows that she sees that she's in the box. Box is just off to the left. And Salty Maud is sitting in it. Friendly taunting, if such a thing exists. It exists in roller derby. 5 seconds is called. So the Subaru Smash are going to start one blocker short due to Salty's offenses. Becky trying to get through on the inside. Karl Marx says no. Becky's going to keep his feet moving. Carl's going to make his way to the front. Sass is going to pick up lead jammer status, and Becky is going to continue to be stymied by the quad, the quartet of Dicksplosion, Baller, Carl, and Slasha. Stays on his skates, though, and away goes Becky. Salty Mod is out. Becky asking for perhaps some offense. Sass says, I don't care. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get 4 points and make the jam go away. That'll be the inaugural jam for the second half. Got Sailor Cooch skating again for the Subaru Smash, going up against Shankarella. Bit of a split pack. Not sure which team is getting everything that they wanted to get. Sailor Cooch trying to get around, that appears to be Mando and Slayer Mars. Sailor Cooch does get lead jammer status, despite Shankarella being a little bit ahead, and now Sailor Cooch is up in front of her, and now the pack is going to become quite fast. Cleopatra rejoining her friends. Sailor Cooch running into a whole lot of folks. Shankarella is out, and that's going to be more points for the U-Haul Brawls. And Sailor Cooch is out, however. So Sailor Cooch, I believe, is going to rely on the prowess of her blockers to perhaps score some additional points before calling it off. Shankarella, though, not having none of that, picks up 4 more points for the U-Hauls. A little rope it up there by Sailor Cooch at the end, trying to get around Mando, and does. Shankarella, meanwhile, running into Dougie and then going out of bounds to the inside of the track. Assault and Nattery trying to keep Shankarella behind everybody else. And Sailor's going to call it off. Before any more fingers go up in the air, it looks like we got a 12-8 in favor of the Smash. So despite letting that one run for a while, they still came out ahead, 4 points, four more points, and bringing that. Oh, never mind. It's getting closer. So 79-59. Random NPC for the Smash. New jammer for them. And returning jammer, Shark as attack. Swimming her way to the front and out for lead jammer status. U-Haul Brawls keeping the foot on the gas. Shout out to our EMTs, making sure people are staying safe. This is a full contact extreme sport. I have given an ankle and a wrist, and more than likely a few brain cells and an even pelvis to this sport. Don't regret a dang thing. Met way too many cool people, done way too much cool stuff. Sorry, I'll edit that out. Just can't quit Derby. All right, SAS Appeal versus Force Vector. Skating today as Veki. A bird tried to make its way over to join the... Didn't happen though. All right, some jostling within the pack. Now both of our... Mando able to keep Veki at bay, joined by Karl Marksman. That is a stretched out pack, and Force Veki is going to take advantage of it and grab that lead jammer status. Meanwhile, Mando's going to get sent to the box. Forearm penalty. Star pass has... Nope, star stash occurred. Very fancy footwork by Veki, putting 4 more points up on the board. Force Ass is able to get back. Probably the fanciest 4 points we've seen yet today. Fast and Lucy is back for the U-Haul Brawls, jamming, trying to hang on to that lead, and Sailor Cooch trying to eat into it. I'm falling into these terrible jokes. Both jammers trying to make some space on the outside for themselves. Neither blocker of battery trying to let that happen. Baller and Sailor and Dick all up in the front. Those are all on the same home team. That's been happening a lot today. Home team action. Ballerana Grande able to yank Sailor Cooch all the way back with a 1,000,000-watt smile on her face. She does love hitting people. However, Sailor Cooch is able to get out for a lead jammer. Maybe make a little 4-point dent in this lead that the U-Haul Brawls are holding on to. Fast and Lucy trying to come around and put some pressure on Sailor Cooch to call it out before she can pick up all 4 points, but all 4 points are got. Good skating by both jammers, good blocking by all blockers. We're going to roll on into jam number 6. 14 and a half minutes left in this 20-minute half. This will be Sass Appeal once again skating against Vecchi. More jostling. The pack is starting out a little bit more jumbled than the last bout. Vecchi trying to take advantage of some confusion and able to pick up the lead. Jammer again. Sass thought it was a no pass, no penalty, but it was in fact a track cut. So this will be a power jam. Oh, nope, not for very long. That'll be an egregious back block being committed by Vecchi on Shark as attack. So this will be the full 2-minute jam. Sass will stand up once Vecchi sits down and be released. Away she goes. And Sass did not spend a whole lot of time in the box, so neither will Vecchi. So we'll have 2 jammers back on the track here for you. No time, look at that, already happening. Oops. Bulldozing his way back to the front of the pack, and 4 more points is Vecchi. Sass not too far behind, about 50 feet or so. Vecchi calling for some offense, not getting a whole lot, and getting shoved to the outside by Buck. Buck, Karen, Slayer Mars, and a Shark as attack. Little spin move by Vecchi on the outside, able to stay in bounds, and 4 more points for him. Sass doing some shirt whips, going inside outside, trying to make sure that they're staying legal. Sass is out for 4 more points, and Salty's going to go back to his Z box. That'll be the Park Tavern penalty box. Shout out to Park Tavern for almost with that apex step. Many folks hitting the deck, and Vecchi using that veteran brain of his to identify, oh yeah, I can go buy this. Sass is caught up. Another 2-minute jam has happened. I don't know if anybody at home is keeping track, but that's got to be like the 6th one, right? Like the 6th 2-minute jam. Kind of nuts. At least it's not as hot as it has been outdoors. We have a very rare Carl Marksman jam. He hates doing this stuff. And everybody's favorite skater to shout at, Penis Flytrap, is back. Skating for Subaru Smash. We did have a lead change. So 79 for the Subaru Smash, 78 for the U-Haul Brawls, and Carl Marksman trying to, and successfully able to shove his way to the front of the pack and pick up lead jammer status. Salty Muld's out of the box. Penis Flytrap nearly out of the pack. Almost had it. Carl scooting into the pack sideways, trying to force somebody to call a stop block. There is a pack. There is a penalty that has been assessed to somebody and is now finally leaving the track. Leaves the destruction of the pack penalty. Karl Marx is out for 4 more points, reclaiming the lead for now for the U-Haul Brawls. Shakerella meeting Penis Flytrap at that opening, but Penis Flytrap able to stay up, inbounds, and through for 4 points for the Subaru Smash, reclaiming their lead. Carl daintily calling it off. And they're going to draw, I think. We'll find out. We'll have some fingers in the air here at some point. Yep, 4-4. I think, and yes, I am correct. That is a timeout being called by the U-Haul Brawls. 83-82. Neck and neck here for the open gender scrimmage, or open gender bout at the ROC in St. Louis Park. My name is Owen Money. Thank you for being here on our special rebroadcast of Blood, Sweat, and Queers, Volume 4, our annual Pride bout. Why not consider joining Roller Derby? Visit us on the web at northstarrollerderby.com and find those join links. They're out there. Don't tell me they're not. I've seen them. You could join up and participate in all the high-flying, fast-rolling action. Why not? It's really fun. It costs some money. Everything does. It's better than a gym membership because you probably meet a whole lot of people that you actually want to be friends with. Not to disparage gymnasiums. I'm sure they're fine. Okay, timeout has expired. We've got 2 skaters in the box, 1 from each team. So this will be a 3-on-3 blocker battle for now. Sailor Cooch versus Fast and Lucy for the Subarus and U-Hauls, respectively. Both jammers kind of eyeing up their prospects here, and Sailor Cooch able to navigate her way out for lead jammer for the Subarus. 2 Subarus hitting the deck, and out goes Fast and Lucy. Dick-splosion tracking Sailor Cooch all the way to the outside of the track, keeping her on her hip the entire time. We've got what I'm going to guess is a forearm penalty. Probably on one of those hits. And out goes Fast and Lucy for 4 more points and a power jam. U-Haul Brawls reclaiming their lead and looking to push it up a little bit higher than 7. Dougie saying, no, those are my points. You don't get them. And the solo blocking effort begins. Dougie now has to do a 1v3 of blocking. Some twinkly toes, courtesy of Fast and Lucy, and just have 4 more points. Meanwhile, Sailor Cooch is out of the box. Now having to deal with Dick, Buck, Shark, and Cleopatra. Everybody's all tied up with each other at the second apex. Big hit there from Sailor Cooch, narrowly avoiding a back block. Both jammers. Oops. That'll be Fast and Lucy hitting the deck. Sailor Cooch crashing her way through, picking up 4 more points for the Subaru Smash. Keeping them in it. We've got 8 seconds left. Fast and Lucy getting knocked to the outside by Dougie. And Sailor Cooch also getting knocked to the outside, checking her mouth, making sure ain't no blood coming out. Everybody's blood appears to be inside of everybody's bodies for now, which is great. It will hopefully stay that way. And I think we've all seen this movie. This is Sassapeel versus Vecchi. Park Tavern penalty box is clear. Little twinning triplets going on here. The midriff exposures. That's illegal. You can do that. Also probably helps folks cool off. It's not the worst it's ever been at the ROC in July, but it's, it could be a little cooler. I wouldn't mind. Just want to turn that thermostat down just a smidge. Would not complain. Once again, thank you for joining us for our special rebroadcast of Blood, Sweat, and Queers number 4, volume 4. Looks like Sailor Cooch did suffer a minor blow and got some ice from our hopefully not too hard-working EMTs. We want them to be really, really bored. That's not always the case, so thank you to them for being here. Everybody is appreciating the breeze as it's whipping through the ROC here on a sunny afternoon. Great day for Derby, all things considered. Ample parking, good friends, great pizza. 5 seconds until jam number 9 is underway for the second half, and away we go. Sass shoving literally everyone, actually literally everybody, and getting rewarded for her efforts by picking up lead jammer status. Hot on her heels, though, is Vecchi, trying to track her down on this very slippery track. Sass just forced to call it off, and call it off she will. Blockers understood the assignment. They're like, yeah, it's going to be fast, and I think both teams would rather, just have nobody score anything, and everybody just gets a little cardio in. Venus Flytrap and Sailor Mars for the Subaru and the U-Hauls, respectively. People love yelling penis, don't they? Slayer Mars getting stuck behind Assault and Nattery. Dougie, the Energizer Batty, and M and Ice. Venus Flytrap got a sideways look from one of the skating officials and decided I may as well avoid a track cut penalty and go to the back of the pack, where Shark as Attack and Dick and Carl are waiting for him. We have a multiplayer block being called on the Energizer Batty, so that'll put Slayer Mars down to just 3 blockers to beat. Meanwhile, Venus Flytrap is being held back by an expert triangle provided by Dick Explosion, Carl Marksman, and Shark as Attack. Slayer Mars just has 1 Dougie to beat. Tries spinning. Tries shoving and more spinning. Trying to take advantage of that shortened track on the apex and unable to. Dougie says no. And gets recycled all the way to the back. And another hit from Dougie on Slayer Mars. And now everybody's going back. It's a backwards pack. The pack thankfully stops. That gets really annoying when it just keeps going the wrong direction over and over and over again. Venus Flytrap trying to get Emin Nice telling Venus Flytrap to go in, providing some offense. Offense loosens things up a little bit. Venus Flytrap is now out in front of Slayer Mars, but not anymore. Shark as Attack hits Venus Flytrap to the outside and runs them all the way back. Slayer Mars is going to pick up a track cut penalty, so Venus Flytrap is on a power jam for the next 3 seconds, and if he wants to jam for the next one, he can. Probably not, though. That is yet another 2-minute jam for our open gender bout. These teams trying to get all the derby they possibly can into their 2 20-minute halves. I'm guessing it's the logic here. They just really like skating, probably. The pivot's in the box, so Lollygager is trying to just put it in the pocket. That's more expeditious anyway. Becky is starting on a power jam with the Subaru Smash, but he's only got 3 of the 4 possible blockers out there. Doesn't matter to him. Pretty quick feet, quick action from Becky. Gets out for lead jammer. Trying to eat into this measly 6-point lead. Little friendly fire there, Becky on Lollygager. Baller knows what's going on, trying to make sure that Becky doesn't get to the inside. Fights his way through anyways. 4 more points for him. Bringing that lead down to 2, which is going to be diminishing right about now. So that'll be another lead change for our game here. Sass looks like she's going to the box for something that she did wrong, I'm sure. Swing and a miss from Karen. Becky read that all the way and is able to twist and contort and pop out for another 4 points for the Subaru Smash. 12-point jam for him so far. He's still got a minute. Ball able to pop right back up just in time to slow down Becky, but not stop him, and that's another 4 for Becky in the Subaru Smash. Slayer Mars probably wants to pass it right now, but can't because, Sass was in the box. Can't pass it to nobody. Very sneaky Terra Nova's star pass. Salty Mod skating so far away from the pack. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. Becky's going to get by 1 more and then call it off. 1 more point, so that'll be a 21-point jam for Becky in the Subaru Smash, bringing them roaring out to a 15-point lead with just 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. A lot of back and forth here today at the ROC in St. Louis Park. Oh, we have a Explosion jam, do we? No, we don't. We have a timeout being called by U-Haul Brawls, so we will take a timeout. Shout out to Ursa Minor Roller Derby. They train folks aged 10 to 17 in the sport of roller derby. UMJRD is 100% gender inclusive, and no experience with roller skating or roller derby is required. And they have some gear you can borrow if you like. Sunglasses not included. Rage and Nat sharing a hug. Again, home team skaters. They're in the same class. They were drafted to the Violent Friends last year, I think. Fit right in. Hand in a glove. If you've ever wanted to hit your friends while wearing roller skates and protective equipment while being overseen by officials, you too can do that at NorthstarRollerDerby.com. Find that join link and we will see you at our space camps. Sailor Cooch versus Dicksplosion. Dicksplosion jams are rare. Sailor Cooch able to get some bodies to hit the decks, and Dicksplosion exploding out for lead jammer status. Rocking that tie, that's also legal. Coming in at speed and blowing up Nat and the Energizer baddie, picking up 4 more points. Eating into that 15-point lead. People love cheering for the Penis Flytrap, but where's the love for Dicksplosion? More points for Dicksplosion in the U-Haul Brawls. That's only a 7-point lead now for the Subaru Smash. We're looking at just 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the second half. Penalty being called. That'll be Fast and Lucy going to hit the box. Dicksplosion's going to hit the back of the pack at speed again. The Star Pass has been completed. Dicksplosion completes the last 4-point pass that she's going to bother doing. That'll be a 12-point jam for the U-Haul Brawls. People are wandering around, looking at other people. That's only 3 points between the two teams. U-Haul Brawls starting 1 blocker down with Sass Appeal underneath the star. Subaru Smash trying to figure out who they're going to send out for what could possibly be. We've seen so many 2-minute jams here today that this could be, with 1 minute and 5 seconds left, this could be the last jam of the bout today. But, you know, timeouts do exist. So whichever team is behind would like to perhaps... the U-Haul Brawls are out of timeouts. They do retain their official review, which sometimes gets burned as a timeout, even if there is nothing to officially review. Not uncommon at all. Especially in close games like this. You got to use all the arrows in your quiver. Okay. Appears to be some kind of... All right. This is now our whistle. Fast rolling whistle. Book'em Dando. And we will be underway here before much longer than 5 seconds. Sassapil and Vecchi both getting down into a sprinter start. Force Vecchi, no, it's just Vecchi, getting met by Karen, Baller, and Shankarella, and out goes Vecchi. Lead jammer status. Sasbury not too far behind. Let's find out what happens. We only got 50 seconds left of the bout. 1:45 left on the jam clock. We will respect that jam clock if the period clock ends and nobody's called it off, or if both jammers go to the box. Vecchi approaching at speed, being met by Baller and Karen. What an apex hop. Shank just shaking her head like, what the heck am I supposed to do against that? Lollygager able to draw a track cut penalty out of Sassapil. And that ought to do it. Vecchi going through in a backwards style motion. Try to salt this away for the Subaru Smash. He only has to wait for another 12 seconds before that period clock's done. He can call it off, and that'll be the end of bout 2 for today. Baller trying to make it harder on him. Blocking out of play. She knows what she did. She knows that's the last that she had to do, that anybody can do. And a back and forth game, 122 to 107, your unofficial score. The Subaru Smash coming about on top of the U-Haul Brawls. We'll wait for that rolling whistle and the official final to be posted up. I don't foresee any weirdness or strange scores or phantom ghost points. That's everything. Thank you so much for joining us here at the ROC in St. Louis Park. My name is Owen Money. This has been Blood, Sweat, and Queers Volume 4. Final bout of the day, Subaru Smash coming out on top of the U-Haul Brawls, 122 to 108. My name is Owen Money, and that is exactly how I would have done it. Thank you.